Every family has a system. Ours was simple. Bella was the good one. I was the other one. No one ever said it like that, not out loud. They didn't have to. The rules were taught the way all effective rules are taught, gently, repeatedly, and with consequences just subtle enough to feel deserved. Bella learned early that approval was a language. If you spoke it fluently, doors opened, teachers smiled, adults relaxed around you. You were safe. I learned something else. I learned that asking why made people uncomfortable. Bella was older by 3 years, which meant she was the trial run. My parents practiced on her. How to dress, how to speak, how to behave in rooms where you were invited but not meant to rearrange anything. By the time I came along, the lessons were refined. "Say thank you," my mother would murmur, her hand light but firm at my back. "Don't interrupt," my father would say, without looking at me. "Smile," Bella would whisper, not unkindly. "Just smile." I tried. I really did, but smiling felt dishonest when I didn't understand the rules. We were a Latino family who had done things the right way. That phrase, the right way, carried weight in our house. It meant papers filed correctly. It meant no raised voices in public. It meant never giving anyone a reason to question our gratitude. My father believed this with something close to faith. He liked to tell people where he came from. Not the place, he rarely named it, but the condition. We didn't have much. We worked hard. We kept our heads down. He said these things with pride, as if humility were a currency he had earned and could now spend. My mother believed in proximity. She believed safety came from standing close to the right people and learning how not to disturb them. She watched women like Eleanor Hawthorne carefully, what they wore, when they laughed, how they spoke without ever sounding like they were asking permission. She practiced being acceptable. Bella absorbed this instinctively. She understood that success wasn't just achievement, it was ease, making things easy for other people, especially powerful ones. I struggled. I noticed things I wasn't supposed to, like how teachers' voices softened when Lucas Hawthorne spoke, like how guidance counselors used words like misunderstanding when girls cried, like how my parents' bodies tensed whenever my questions got too specific. "Not everything needs to be said," my father told me once, after I asked why a boy at school never seemed to get in trouble. "Some things are better left alone." "But why?" I asked. He sighed, tired in a way that felt older than me. "Because that's how you survive." Survive. That word carried weight in our house. Survival wasn't dramatic. It wasn't about danger you could see. It was about avoiding attention, about blending in, about never being the loudest voice in the room, even when you were right. Bella survived beautifully. She made honor roll without seeming to try. She knew how to laugh at jokes that weren't funny. She knew when to speak and when to disappear. Adults loved her because she reflected them back to themselves. I loved her too. That was the complicated part. She wasn't cruel. She didn't mock me. When she corrected me, it was usually gentle. "You don't have to say everything you think," she told me once, brushing my hair before a family party. "You'll be happier." I wanted to believe her, but holding everything in felt like standing underwater and pretending I didn't need air. At school, teachers called me quiet, sometimes intense, sometimes sensitive, words that sound harmless until they're used to explain why no one listens. Bella was mature, grounded, reliable. When Lucas Hawthorne walked past us in the hallway, Bella nodded politely. She had learned that politeness was a shield. I looked away. That earned me a look later, not angry, concerned. "You can't act like that," my mother said softly when we got home. "People notice." "That's the problem," I said. She frowned, not confused, maybe understanding too well. "We didn't come this far for you to make things harder. We just want you to be okay." Okay meant safe. Safe meant quiet. Quiet meant invisible. I didn't know how to be invisible without disappearing entirely. At night, I wrote things down instead. Thoughts I couldn't say, questions I wasn't supposed to ask, observations that made adults uncomfortable when spoken aloud. I didn't write about danger. I didn't have the language for that yet. I wrote about patterns. Who was believed? Who was forgiven? Who was told to be patient? I wrote because paper didn't flinch. If anyone had read those notebooks carefully, they might have understood me better. They might have seen that I wasn't rebelling. I was paying attention. But no one read them. Bella was busy being the good one. My parents were busy protecting what they'd built, and I was busy learning the hardest lesson our family had to offer, that being quiet is not the same as being safe. It just feels like it until it doesn't.